Good morning, friends and partners of United States Special Operations Command. I am Colonel Paul Weiser. I'm the Program Executive Officer for SOF Digital Applications under SOF Acquisition Technology and Logistics. And I'm extremely excited on behalf of our team to demonstrate the Tactical Assault Kit program to you this morning. I know there's a lot of interest. For those of you that haven't already written this down, if you can, take a look in the chat. I've put a point of contact in the J3I, the international branch at USSOCOM, that will be able to assist you if you decide that TAC is something you'd be interested in. Slide. TAC is unique. Unlike most programs of record that we develop in SOF AT&L, instead of being centrally managed and centrally funded, where we develop a product and deliver it out, TAC is unique in that it's a community of practice. It is user-centered design, user-funded. It is managed by a board of DoD and non-DoD national security agencies, all focused on ensuring that the user receives the capability that they're looking for and pushed to the edge as required. And we know we're doing this right because the Tactical Assault Kit and Team Awareness Kit is one of the fastest growing programs in the DoD with users in excess of 250K. And you'll see that in the following demonstration. The investments that we make are pushed right into TAC. There's not a lot of overhead that goes through a bloated organization. And we're able to continuously innovate and provide the latest and greatest because the user provides us their requirements. We're quickly able to adjudicate requirements and put them into the capability using latest commercial techniques to use software agile development. Instead of waiting years to get product out, we're able to deliver in weeks and months. So TAC is interesting. We're going to show you what it looks like. We're going to show you the latest capabilities. We're also going to show you how to access it, and you'll get to see for yourself how great a product it is. So again, excited to be able to provide this demonstration to our friends and partners out there in the international community. Look forward to engaging you in the future. With that, let me push you to the demo.
The Tactical Assault Kit has been described as a game changer. As it's known outside of the DoD, the Team Awareness Kit is a movement that has seen the addition of 15 DoD programs and a growing base of over 250,000 users spanning the U.S. military, federal, state, and local government organizations, as well as U.S. partner nations. The technology and open source collaboration powering TAC permits real-time visibility into mission status, coordination of shared resources, and a reduction of fratricide incidents, all while operating on an open source platform to improve integration across civil use, government, and military users. Maintained by the team of dedicated professionals at the U.S. Army Combat Capabilities Development Command, C5ISR, in the TAC Product Center, TAC improves situational awareness across both small and large-scale command and control operations. The TAC solution is truly a fundamental shift from cumbersome radio-based operations. Where observer azimuths, paper maps, and signal mirrors can delay reaction times, improved communication and coordination are critical to saving lives. When seconds are the difference between life and death, TAC is your go-to platform. Come join the movement and see what TAC can do for your organization. Join the 250,000 members, 15-plus DoD programs, and countless first responders, police, and emergency personnel that have improved mission outcomes, reduced cost, and improved operational effectiveness by tapping into the open-source collaborative solution that is TAC.
Thank you, Colonel Weiser. Good morning, everybody. I appreciate you taking the time to dial into today's TAC overview and demonstration. My name is Joshua Sterling. I'm the director of the TAC Product Center. And today, I'm going to give you a capability overview, provide you with a live demonstration. I'm going to show a promo video that's geared towards military functions and the power that TAC brings. Then, at the conclusion of that demonstration, I'm going to hand it off to Jeff Fraley, our acquisition PM. And so with that, let's get started. So the Tactical Assault Kit, also known as a Team Awareness Kit on the civilian side, is a enhanced situational awareness tool that enables real-time collaboration and data sharing. And there's many other systems out there that do situational awareness and mapping. What really makes TAC stand apart is capability, interoperability, and extensibility. For example, on the capability front, TAC is unparalleled when it comes to close air support. So we've effectively reduced close air support times from minutes to seconds. Interoperability, another key component. TAC employs the use of open standards. We also provide variants spanning everywhere from military functions to recreational. So on this slide in particular, you can see military, law enforcement, fire emergency management, first responders, commercial, and recreation. So we can tailor the capabilities to meet the mission set and ensure interoperability between these organizations. And the third is extensibility. So TAC has evolved into a platform over time, and that platform enables partners to build their own niche tool sets. You can manage your own development efforts, your fielding efforts, and really build on that TAC foundation. And so, those three in summary really set TAC apart from other situational awareness and mapping tools that are out there. Also, good situational awareness saves lives. This is a testimonial on the civilian side. I believe this came from a Canadian fire department where they've effectively employed TAC to coordinate and rescue essentially a school that had caught fire. So this is one of thousands of examples where TAC was deployed in a situation where we hadn't even considered, building it on the military side of the house. But they were quickly able to respond, find the furnace that was heating up and put the whole school at risk. So it was a thank you note, but we've received many of those across the board. And so TAC has been effective in saving lives, and it's also been very effective at shortening the kill chain. Interoperability, I want to hit that again. It's important. So domestically, on the law enforcement side, we've got local law enforcement, state law enforcement, federal law enforcement, many organizations that are dealing in complex networks and interoperability situations. TAC has absolutely lowered that barrier and enabled these disparate groups to communicate when it was critical. And so TAC now is the go-to situational awareness and data sharing tool for our domestic law enforcement and response teams. So unifying everybody is absolutely paramount in making quick decisions, especially when it comes to any kind of first response emergency. And so here's a good opportunity to highlight, in particular for your use case on the international side, that TAC empowers interoperability by allowing parent organizations to run their own TAC services and interoperate when necessary and when able. So in this case, the United States will not be running TAC services and collecting data. So when you procure TAC, you set up your own set of services and figure out who and how you want to interoperate. Much like each of these law enforcement organizations, right? So we don't collect their data. We don't do any of that. They set up their own network. They set up their own TAC services. And then when they come together, they point the services at each other, for either the duration event or as long as they want. But they have the flexibility to enforce their own policies, set their own security, do their own network authentication on how and when and where they're going to share their information. And that is a very important point, that we're not aggregating and collecting everybody's data. We don't run tax services for other nations. We don't run tax services for domestic partners. They employ their own tool sets, much like you would a virtual private network or email exchange server, right? Those mechanisms are not handled by us or other third parties. You can deploy this out however you see fit and interoperate with whoever and however you need to that requires to meet your mission objectives. So with that, I'm going to go into each of the detailed tools that TAC operates with and what we provide. So starting at the top, I'm going to go clockwise around this wheel, is ATAC. ATAC stands for the Android Tactical Assault Kit. So the Android Tactical Assault Kit is our flagship product. This runs on a handheld device, cell phone, cell size. This is what all the dismounted units carry. It's a very powerful tool. You can load up all your maps, imagery, operate offline, a disconnected / degraded environment, all the way up to enterprise with these capabilities that TAC provides. So this replaced many of the functions that were previously done or required a hefty laptop or desktop system. So we put that capability at the fingertips, and you take that base capability that includes targeting functions, navigation functions, and a whole suite of capabilities, and then you add your communication pipeline, right? Building out your ultimate fielded kit. So along with that is VTAC. So going around the wheel, VTAC is our Virtual Tactical Assault Kit. The Virtual Tactical Assault Kit is really growing of importance of late, in particular with mission planning and rehearsal. So you can immerse yourself on the objective. You can do your rehearsal walkthroughs. So if you're infilling to a target, you had a breaching point, you could digitally mark that. That data is also interoperable and shareable back to ATAC. So you could plan a route or a breach point in your virtual heads-up environment and push that down to the assault team and the tactical team on ATAC, right? The output products go seamless between the different TAC clients. So the virtual environment, mission planning rehearsal, and we also have a new function called the virtual jock. So the virtual jock, you set up your ISR wall, you put your headset on, and you've essentially replaced what you see with physical monitors in space. So as long as you can connect into your network, it gives you the ability to set up a virtual jock, walk through the objective, and also share data with other TAC users. Next is the plugins. So the plugins, very important on the extensibility side. ATAC alone has over 100 plugins. So again, those span mission sets and capability for all kinds of users, from the recreational to military. And the nice thing about ATAC, or TAC in general with the development, is you can control your own components and build your own capabilities on top of that platform, right? So, if you're an assaulter or a breacher and you wanted to build a particular capability, a tool to leverage most of TAC, but it was niche or something specific to your country or user group, a good, like if you use a different grid system, or you had a different radio that you needed to interoperate with, right? You could build a TAC plugin, so without having to redo a bunch of capability, you could simply build your software to fill that little capability gap on your own time, separate from what the U.S. government is doing, right? And augment the existing TAC capability. Again, I think that whole platform concept really sets TAC apart. Fourth, going around the wheel, is AR TAC. We have multiple augmented reality plugins and tools as we move from heads down to heads up. Whether it's different night vision goggles or clip-ons, or even using the device itself, and you tilt your device up to be able to display the points of interest out overlaid on the real world. So there's a lot of experimentation happening in that domain. We have a handful of plugins that kind of come along with ATAC there that we provide. Next is the TAC server. The TAC server is the glue that binds many of these systems together when you start talking about enterprise operations, interoperability with other agencies. The TAC server's primary function is routing information, securing information, and storing information, getting the right piece of information to the right person, adhering to whatever policies are enforced on it. So each nation could be running their own services, TAC servers, or even in their departments running private TAC servers, right? So if I looked at 3 or 4 law enforcement agencies, and in the scenario, the demonstration, you're going to see something similar where you have 3 or 4 different agencies running private TAC servers. And then during the course of an event, you can point the TAC servers at each other, and we call that federation. And that opens up that channel, right, securely to share that data for a set duration, set time. So you're in control of your own TAC services. I want to reiterate that point, is we don't run those services for you, and you can break out TAC servers, in any topology that works best for your environment. So whether it's large enterprise, server clusters, or many disparate or dismounted services, you can do that and then connect them as appropriate. WinTAC is our, going next around the wheel, WinTAC is our Windows Tactical Assault Kit. This is kind of purpose-built more for the mission planning side. So this runs on Windows. You get the nice features and functions that Windows provides. Keyboard, mouse. The windows you can undock the windows, display multiple ISR feeds. All the same geospatial data formats are shared across VTAC, WinTAC, and ATAC. Right? So all your 3D models, your ISR feeds, your output products, if you plan in WinTAC, if you're doing your navigation functions in ATAC, you can share that data seamlessly back and forth. Next one is ITAC. ITAC is our iOS client. It is still in beta state. This is more of an enterprise-centric tool. So in its current form, it does not have all the features and functions and bells and whistles that you get with ATAC and even WinTAC. But you get that level of interoperability, shared situational awareness, overlays, right, and ISR. So that one's really heavily used on our civilian side of the house currently. But we're expanding that function, all of which, again, will be available, most of those capabilities available, and we'll follow up on the Q&A session. So next up is WebTAC. WebTAC is our web-based, so this is a browser, open up a web browser capability, really geared towards, again, enterprise communications. So this is great, again, sitting in an ops center where you want many people to have a common operational picture. You might want to authenticate with your military ID. You might want to control who can drop points on maps, give different views. This tool is great for that. And it's also great for enterprise users, for example, cell phone users like iOS. So you got your Apple device, or you're connected and you want to pull up a web browser and you don't want that thick client. You can just pull up a web page, get your maps, situational awareness, share your points. That's what WebTAC is great at. That comes along and is actually deployed side by side with the TAC server. So it's an option that comes along with a server. And again, all the products are shareable, right, from ATAC, ITAC, WinTAC, WebTAC, and VTAC, and then a subset of plugins depending on the data you're producing. So open standards, open architecture, really heavily focused on interoperability here. So how do all these connect? I get asked this question a lot, and I want to dedicate some time here to discuss it. So unlike a lot of other solutions that work only on the enterprise with cellular or something that was made to be completely dismounted, there's a spectrum of connectivity, and TAC is an excellent example of an application that can make the best use of the bandwidth it has available. So if you're completely dismounted and have no communication, you will have maps, imagery, the ability to do routing, right? Those functions that happen offline. Starting on the commercial side, right, in the green on the left, in the left column, a lot of users can exploit and use ATAC or the TAC ecosystem on public networks securely. We've got Bluetooth, so you can share data phone to phone. Also radio to device, to TAC device, over Wi-Fi. So again, in that green section where commercial communications, there's mechanisms to securely transmit data around between your TAC users. In the middle spectrum, we have commercial solutions that are both geared towards a set of commercial customers as well as military. So in that government space with different configurations, you've got things like persistent systems, wave relay, trellis ware, Silvis, those are man-A radios, self-healing, self-forming. You get the GO10 and mesh, so these are more in the emergency use cases. Lower throughput, like VHF radios. Beartooth is another example of that, as well as ICOM. So you take your ATAC end user device, right, your phone, you connect that either through a cable or you connect it through Bluetooth, so the onboard communication systems for a standard phone. And you can start sending situational awareness out over these networks. Again, if it's a lower throughput, you'll get a dot on the map. If it's higher throughput, you can share onboard video. You can start streaming maps, right? So TAC will scale to the services appropriately. We also have a pretty large presence on the beyond line of sight capabilities down here at the bottom of the slide. More on the commercial side, somewhere GPS, or somewhere Iridium Puck rather. They actually built a plugin for ATAC, so you could go to the somewhere site. They sell their little Iridium transmitter receiver along with an ATAC plugin. So there's a good example of a commercial working with commercial company where they were able to build on that TAC platform and provide value to the community. Shout Nanos and Iridium. So there's different BFT devices that we can hook into. We can also inject some of those into the server side. There's many use cases there where you have a BFT network set up, with Iridium that if they're legacy and they don't connect to mobile devices, you can ingest that data back at the TAC server and then distribute it out over any of the other mechanisms or transport layers that I have on display here, right? Getting the right piece of information to the right user over whatever mechanism or transport layer you have. That's what we're trying to achieve with TAC. So you see we've got, also on the military side, the PRC lines, 161, 152s, 117s, right? So there's plugins that handle different messaging formats to go through these radios and support their waveforms. Also video downlink, so that's the rover receiver you see in the bottom right-hand corner. And in the demonstration I'm going to provide, you'll see one of the kits and what that looks like. Okay, so before I kick off the demonstration, I want to talk through the vignettes and some of these configurations. So first one is the TOC. So this is an example of an operations center leveraging both WinTAC and ATAC, communicating with air, ground, and maritime over multiple communication channels. But that data gets aggregated and can be seen as a common operational picture. That's what the commander's brief in there, up on the monitor. So you'll get to see what that looks like here, the WinTAC in the demonstration. Mounted, so vehicle mounts. If you can see in the front of the vehicle, we've got a large tablet mounted, and I can also see that this soldier is wearing a MPU-5, so that's a man-A network, and on the top it looks like they've got potentially a beyond line of sight. So again, ATAC is running on that tablet. It's ingesting data from multiple transport communication systems, right? And kind of fusing that into one picture so they can maintain communication, do their navigation functions, and communicate, coordinate in real time with the rest of the participants in the battle space. So ATAC has been pretty popular recently in the aviation side. Again, starting out for ground forces, but it's very applicable to the air mission set. And here's two examples you'll see. The most common use case today is flying in as an electronic knee board. So take all your maps, imagery overlays, your flight data, weather. You can put that on a knee board. And we've also gone as far as hooking it up to, sensors on board or pods that the aircraft might carry. And this really helps standardize that picture between the air and the ground. So now the pilot's seeing where the ground user is. There's additional level of coordination that can happen. They're basically seeing the same thing. And what does that mean? You're reducing talk on time and reducing complexity to shorten the kill chain, right, and improve mission effectiveness. So, again, pick your flavor. Large tablets mounted, you have phone size mounted, and then, again, you can run it with a knee board. Dismounted. So back to kind of the roots of TAC and why we were extremely valuable when it came to operational support and importance. That dismounted scenario. So without having to lug around a laptop with my maps, imagery, overlays, trying to figure out navigation, collect intel, integrate with my local sensors, ATAC, the Android Tactical Assault Kit or Android Team Awareness Kit, provides that level of geospatial ability that hadn't been seen previously without running around with a laptop. So reducing that size, weight, and power, allowing folks to get a good navigation and mapping capability to study terrain, integrate with their laser rangefinders, GPS systems, right? Whatever sensors they might have locally. That's really extremely valuable to the mission. So in the scenario that I lay out, you'll see some of the effective use of the dismounted user. And then lastly, I've got the forward observer. The forward observer in my scenario on the civilian side is akin to a combat controller, a JTAC, a fires guy. And so his kit right now, you can see he's actually wearing an Android ATAC device, chest mounted. He's got two radios talking to the pilots, the overhead, and in his back he's got a video downlink. And so all that data, situational awareness from the overhead platforms. He's also got the video downlink coming in. And this is really where you can help reduce talk on times. And in the vignette that I'm going to show you in the live demonstration, instead of dropping kinetic weapons, it's actually fire retardant. But it's very, very close to the mission set. And again, some of the original value add for TAC really was reducing the time to talk on the targets from minutes, several minutes to seconds. Sharing that same picture, right? Matching up between what the pilot sees, the ground guy sees, and even maritime forces, right? So getting everybody on the same execution page is paramount. It is critical if you're going to reduce the kill chain timeline. So with that, I'm going to kick off the live demonstration. And again, at the conclusion of that, I'll kick off a little promo video that's going to wrap up and kind of tie together what you're going to see in my demo, my live demo, and some of the military applicability. Then from there, I'll hand it over to Jeff Fraley. Thanks again for your time, everybody. The following Team Awareness Kit demonstration highlights the enhanced situational awareness provided by TAC during the 2017 California Thomas wildfire. The demonstration is recorded using the Windows Team Awareness Kit. After several days of uncontrolled burning, California Wildfire deploys aerial ISR to help coordinate response maneuvers and fortify control lines. Intelligence generates a gridded reference graphic overlay, which identifies uncontrolled areas in red and objective control lines in yellow. The ISR sensor shares its video feed, platform location, and sensor point of interest in real time. 3 medical response teams are located in nearby towns, along with 1 remote outpost in a communications degraded environment. 2 forward observers, which are indicated by the 2 blue circles, are sharing real-time data with the Android Team Awareness Kit. A 911 rescue alert is received by all TAC network participants from call sign ambush. This is indicated by the flashing icon in the center of the screen and the alert notification in the bottom left of the WinTAC screen. The overlaid picture captures the use of TAC in an operational center configuration. Zooming into the 911 alert location, we can see a medevac request has been sent. The TAC software is rendering a 3D model generated from overhead ISR, which shows a collapsed building at the rescue site. Life-size 3D vehicle models are incorporated as part of the TAG mission planning toolkit. Terrain and gradient analysis can provide accurate information when identifying landing zones, helping to streamline the rescue mission. A helo landing pad and adjacent rally point have been marked east of the collapsed building. Regional medical response teams begin to share and deconflict their infill plans. TAC provides multiple ground mission planning capabilities, including vehicle turn-by-turn, mounted, and dismounted navigation. Response teams are dispatched from 3 separate units that are connected through private TAC servers. Each unit controls their own TAC services and policies, which can be connected when data sharing and interoperability are required. Throughout the course of this rescue, TAC provides a common operational picture across air, ground, and command units. The Android Tactical Assault Kit runs on vehicle systems, bringing enhanced C4I capabilities to mounted platforms. Ground forces can watch on-station ISR and communicate with other operators in real time. The rescue helo is dispatched and is en route to the medevac site. Pilots fly with ATAC electronic knee boards and mounted tablets for interoperability with ground forces. A common ATAC navigation tool, known as Bloodhound, provides dynamic time-on-target functions. It's also extremely effective at vectoring in ground forces using overhead sensor points of interest. The remote response team, which primarily operates in a disadvantaged network environment, received the medical alert using their beyond line of sight radio. Their TAC software leverages locally stored geospatial data to build infill and exfil plans while integrating with their locationing and range finding devices. Forward observer with call sign Nevin is communicating directly with overhead assets to help control the fire line. He's equipped with line-of-sight voice, data, and video downlink radios.
Assemble and stand by with your tanker in quarters. Repeat, Woodside Company number 5. Requested to...
A nightline has been sent to the incoming helo to coordinate a water drop. This coordination closely mimics ATAC-enabled close air support mission threads.
Woodstock, operating a structure point to assemble and stand by with your tanker in quarters. Repeat, Woodside Company number 5. Requested to assemble and stand by in quarters for your structure fire route 212 Lake Hill. Mount Tremper, you're requested to assemble in quarters with your tanker.
After sending a nightline to the helo, Nevin places an ATAC sensor point of interest on the map to indicate the fire retardant target, which is also sent to the incoming aircraft. The ISR feed is draped over the map overlay to display real-time situational awareness and battle damage assessment.
Number 81 Mill Hill Road. Repeat, Woodstock Company number 5, 620 district. Respond to
Thanks, Josh. A very good tour of TAC. Now, I'm the PEOSDA's new acquisition program manager for TAC. As you saw, TAC is an open platform for interoperability and collaboration. Now, that collaboration within the U.S. federal and DoD elements is governed by the CSB, or the Configuration Steering Board. However, I must tell you, since coming on this program, I am most astounded by the even larger, much larger civilian ecosystem surrounding TAC, and hopefully you got a sense of that power in the demo. I fully admit there's a lot of buzz around TAC, but hopefully you can see that it's for some good reasons. And we would hope that you are as excited about the real message here, which is that the TAC ecosystem is what's available to you, not just a kit. Now, one of the main takeaways I want to leave with you is that it is available now in a very powerful civilian version. Now, the source code and the software development kits are all tools I highly recommend that you explore. It's a really good way for gaining an understanding of the full capability and figuring out what within the kit you might want to leverage for your own initiatives for collaboration and interoperability. Now, the civilian version is kind of an on-ramp, if you will, and it gives you the ability to kind of sort through all the commonly asked questions. If you are interested in taking TAC discussions forward to the next step for the military version, the Tactical Assault Kit, versus the Civilian Team Awareness Kit, then your best avenue is with your respective COCOM POC. And with that, I will park us on this slide while I thank you, SOCOM partners, for your interest in TAC and all that you do with SOCOM. If we did not respond to your questions in the chat window, note that we will review those a little later and respond accordingly. And finally, as the TAC APM for POSDA soft digital applications, I would like to welcome you to the TAC community, whether it be Civ or Mil, and see how we can potentially leverage this tool for interoperability and collaboration.